So, as some of you know, I was in the White House yesterday. Cabinet meeting, 90 minutes. Second one this year for me. Unbelievable privilege. Incredible privilege. I sat next to Elon Musk. I don't know if he was too thrilled about that, but we had a very nice conversation. It was incredible, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Some national security stuff I can't say, but mostly I asked President Trump, look, I want to report this meeting. He said, okay. And there were a few things that we agreed that I would keep private for the time being. So, as you know, the big story is that Putin and Trump had a phone call for 90 minutes today about a ceasefire in Ukraine. So Zelensky's already agreed to it because he has to agree to it. And that's it. Now you got to get Putin to sign on to the 30-day ceasefire. Both Russia and the United States portray the call as positive. I was in the pre-call meeting, which I'm going to tell you about. Okay, I didn't obviously witness the call today, but this is the summary that I just got. So President Trump, President Putin spoke about the need for peace, ceasefire in Ukraine. Both leaders agreed the conflict needs to end with a lasting peace. All right. And they also stressed the need for improved bilateral relations between the USA and Russia. Good, right? Leaders agreed the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire. Well, it seems like that Putin agreed to the ceasefire, but not yet, formally. Okay? There are going to be talks beginning almost immediately in the Middle East. So I'm not sure what country, whatever country can provide the best security, but it's going to be in the Gulf. Okay? Leaders spoke broadly about the Middle East as a region of potential cooperation. Okay? That's good. They further discussed the need to stop the proliferation of strategic weapons, will engage with others to ensure the broadest possible application. Another positive. Two leaders shared the view that Iran should never be in a position to destroy Israel. Netanyahu should be happy about that, and we'll report on the ceasefire in Gaza going down a little bit later on. Finally, both Putin and Trump agreed that a future with an improved bilateral relationship between the USA and Russia has a huge upside, includes enormous economic deals, geopolitical stability, when peace has been achieved. Okay, so all positive right now. Putin is a monster, a slippery guy. You got to take that into account. But I think Trump is handling it pretty well. I'm going to get into some micro in a moment. That now becomes a fait accompli, I believe. I think that this ceasefire will happen. Don't know the time frame. Okay? Trump's got good guys over there. His negotiators are good, in my opinion. And I'm tough. All right, Talking Points memo is my role in all of this. So St. Patrick's Day yesterday, I had a green tie on and walked in. Always, for me, emotional experience when I go to the White House. I've been there a dozen times now. It's an incredible, when you go to Washington, take that White House tour. But to get in there and to go to the Oval Office, it's like crazy for me. So first thing I talked with the president about was the JFK files. He knows that I wrote Killing Kennedy. And I said, I broached it. He goes, how you doing, O'Reilly? And I said, where are the JFK files? That's how I introduced myself. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, you got to put them out. He goes, I was just thinking about that. When should I put them out? I said, now. Give them to me, I'll put them out. 2 hours later, the announcement was made. Now, it's 80,000 words. Tomorrow, I'll have a little bit of handle on it. I don't even know where it is now, but I should have it tomorrow. And he asked me about the Martin Luther King Jr. files. I said, I'd like to see them. I think you should put them out as well. And then he asked me about Epstein. There's a problem with Epstein because in the files there are a lot of names that knew Epstein, but didn't have anything to do with him. Now, if they release files that have names next to Jeffrey Epstein, those people are going to get hurt. People aren't going to delineate. So I said, look, you can redact that. And he goes, I know. Yeah. So that's going to take a little bit longer because there are so many names that had lunch with him or a phone call with him or whatever. So JFK's fait accompli. I'm hoping Martin Luther King Jr.'s file comes soon. And then Epstein, I don't know when. It's the least important. Now, last night I was on News Nation with Leland Vittert, and we talked about the JFK stuff. Go.
Is there anything that's going to come out that will be the aha moment, something to prove some kind of conspiracy?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe there's going to be any new gunmen or any of that.
So why does it matter?
It matters for history. Because if you had the most powerful intelligence agency in the world, the CIA, tracking a guy named Lee Harvey Oswald, who without a doubt killed JFK, there's got to be a reason why they lost track of him. Because they did. And tomorrow we will have an excellent historian about JFK along with me. And if you're interested in this, this is the place to be. The other thing we discussed is case law. And case law, as you may remember, in 2015, was written up by me. And it said that if you are a criminal migrant and deported and you come back, that you get between 5 and 10 years in a federal penitentiary for violating the deportation. It was based on 32-year-old Kate Steinle, who was killed walking in Fisherman's Wharf with her father by a drug dealer, undocumented criminal who had been deported 5 times. And he shot this young woman to death. That man is in Mexico now, deported again. He served time in the USA, but it was horrendous. Mitch McConnell killed the bill. Okay, he said, oh, it wouldn't have passed anyway. You're a big phony. So what? You introduce it, you get it going. Trump's going to get that bill going, I think. And this is very personal to me. All right, so that's the outline of the entire conversation. Let's go to Putin and Trump. I can tell you these things on a factual basis. Donald Trump has a strategy on how to deal with Putin. Okay? It is do not demean him. Do not insult him. Do not be disrespectful to him. That is Trump's strategy. It's not that he likes Putin or he's buddies with Putin or he wants to go to Mar-a-Lago with Putin. No. He wants this blood to stop in Ukraine. And the only person who can make it stop is Putin. That's it. Okay. If you don't accept that, then you don't want to watch me because that's the truth and that's reality. Trump does not like Zelensky. Doesn't trust him, doesn't like him. That doesn't really matter at this point because Zelensky's got no power. It's between Trump and Putin. Europe can't, Putin doesn't have any respect for Europe. Putin wouldn't even take Biden's phone calls. Okay? I mean, this is where we are. So, while we were talking about Putin and Trump in the cabinet meeting, and when I say we, it was Musk, it was O'Reilly, and it was 3 or 4 other people. I'm not going to name them because it's not necessary, but they're very smart, high-level people. Phone rings, and it's the British Prime Minister, Sturmer, and Trump puts him on speaker. And Trump's grasp of what was happening in Ukraine is better than mine. And now he gets an intel briefing every morning. Okay, I don't get that. But he knows. And Sturmer wasn't pushing him one way or the other. And Sturmer was also talking about the tariffs, and that's a whole different thing. Because that's chaotic right now. The tariff thing is chaotic. I think it'll fall into line, but I'm not sure. But this was on President Trump's mind, as it should be. All right? So, again, 90 minutes, and he was kind enough, President Trump was kind enough to allow my son to be in that meeting. And that is, to me, you know, as a proud father, and he didn't have to do that. Trump didn't have to do that. So, I mean, the kid is learning. It's an amazing amount. So then we, you know, after the meeting, he had to go out to the Kennedy Center, and, you know, and the Oval Office looks great. He redecorated the whole thing, all the portraits, and boy, I count myself so lucky. But I'm reporting honestly to you, and that's why I was there. And he knows that I'm an honest reporter because he gets mad at me sometimes when I, you know, say things he doesn't want. But not my job. My job is to report to you. And that's a memo.